Welcome back everybody. In this video we're going to be taking this replica World War II bayonet and forging it into a knife. Now why would I forge this bayonet into a knife? Well, I'll show you here in just a little bit. The knife itself is actually pretty decent, but let me show you a few problems that I noticed. First, it's been ground on, like someone took a disc grinder to it and pretty much destroyed the cutting edge. This was not meant to be sharp, it's more of a display item, but somebody tried to sharpen it and pretty much destroyed it. And I was looking at the handle too, and it also seems like it's been broke, like someone tried throwing it. So I took off the handle and I'll get ready to forge it. So what kind of knife is this going to be? This is going to be my standard sort of hunting / camping type knife. It's a popular design that I use. If you watch several of my videos, you'll kind of see a common trend. It's just a camp knife mostly. That's kind of my favorite style. I'm kind of improving it over time just to come up with my own exact style, so you can look at my knife and just be like, hey, that's a sight of a forging blade. I'm going to cross peen this out and get it all drawn out. I'm going to forge it as close as I can to shape because there's not a lot of material here to deal with. Now what kind of steel is this bayonet? The answer is I don't know. I can make assumptions and say it's something like 1040, but that's just a wild guess. After quenching it and tempering it though, it turned out quite low after the quench. It got about 58, which was low. That was in the oil. I did not try water because I didn't want to take a chance of breaking it. So I stayed with the lower HRC. I got this pretty much roughed out. The profile is not where I like it currently, so I'm going to grind it to shape and then quench it in oil at about 1450 degrees. After the quench and temper, I'm going to test it out in this sheath, the original scabbard that was in, and I'm going to cut it down and use the scabbard for this knife. I'm going to mark it out, cut it off with a skill saw, cut the notches in, and slip it on. Now I'm going to flat grind the knife, get it totally smooth and even, and then I'll cut in the bevels. So this is where I am currently. I didn't film a lot of the process of working on this knife, but what I've done so far is I hand sanded it up to 600 grit and then blued it using some of that 24-hour bluing. And then I got some black walnut scales and I put it on this knife. I got some loveless bolts holding on temporarily for now, but there's this gap in here, so I need to even out my tang and my knife handle material to get a nice smooth fit up. I've also hand sanded that to 600 grit as well. I'm really liking the look of this gun blue. It gives it a nice old aged look. This is after the epoxy. I am going to finish hand sanding it to 600 grit and then gun blue the tang so it matches the blade. I like to polish all my knives to a minimum of 600 grit just because it gives it a nice look. Before I used to do 400 or even 220, but that's just too low and it looks streaky. The higher the grit, the nicer your knife's going to look. And here it is, all polished up and waxed and looking nice. I think it turned out really cool. The gun blue finish and the walnut style handle scales are just really neat. I'm loving it. The copper pins turned out really nice as well. Anyway, what do you guys think? If you are interested in it, it will be on my eBay store. So, thank you guys so much for watching, and you all have a great one.